Stay tuned, Garrison, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Howl's Harrows. And the last time, well, we ran into another champion, and we set it on fire, and then we weren't able to quite get it because, for some reason, one of the parts managed to disappear. We also set a cataphract on fire and set off its ammo because fire is really good at setting off ammo. Basically, we had a pretty good decent time. We made a whole bunch of cash. The champion is now building. It's about a week away from being done, and we're a couple of days away from being able to drop 8 mechs at a time. And we're in the green. However, we're in the green only as far as continuing next month. If we want to construct the Atlas, which I currently have sitting in the storage, we're gonna need about 6-ish million C-bills. So, with that in mind, incomplete intelligence. Our pirated enemies are hiding restricted munitions in a series of warehouses used to distribute medical supplies. We'd like to make a public accusation that are hiding munitions and medical supplies, but that would reveal the source of our intel. Instead, we need you to go in and do what we cannot. Destroy the warehouses. This will be a 417 priority salvage, 318,400 C-bills and 3.5 skulls. I'm hoping for gear to steal and salvage and sell for lots of money. Fusion cores would of course not go awry in this one, however we may have dropped onto an area where we cannot move, and if that is the case we will have to reset the mission, and if that is the case, well, I'll be a bit of it. Okay, that's looking okay. Can I get down from this mountain though? That is the other question. I kind of feel the answer is no. But it may be yet possible. Let's find out. We're gonna zip on down here. We can... Yes, we can see the base that we are currently going to blow up into little tiny smithereens. Sort of in a bit of a blind canyon here that we're gonna go take a look at. Again, this may change, so I suppose I should talk about other things. A couple of things that we can also do to that Atlas while we're sort of waiting, because it is gonna take about 50 days in order to build the previous design that we had checked out back in Sneak Peek. Other things we could do to it are, of course, just repair it. So we start the repair process on it, and that would, of course, save us some money, save us some time, and, well, it wouldn't save us any time, but it would, by the time it was actually done being repaired, we could actually start working on other things, and that would hopefully be a little bit better in terms of trying to get the entire company working again, because I do want to have my first 100-ton assault mech. We did manage to beat Apollo's Vipers to the 100-ton assault mech. They managed to beat us. Well, they managed to beat Apollo's Harrows to the assault mech category in general, because they did get a hold of a Mauler before we were able to buy the Charger. Also, they managed to, you know, steal the Mauler versus us when we, well, bought the Charger, which isn't a slight against the Charger. It's a phenomenal mech. Okay, good. There is a way down. Lovely, so we're not going to be trapped up here. Or at least doesn't seem like it unless this gets worse. I think I can get down there. So yeah, we would like to finish a 100-ton assault mech before them as well. However, the streams do last between 2 and 4 hours, so there's always the chance that they can catapult ahead. I believe I'm up to 3 parts on a direwolf in the stream campaign at the moment. So if we manage to run into another one of those, we will of course go for a maximum capture and try and grab 2 parts. Unless of course we're doing a mission like we often do on here, or at least that we've recently been doing in here, where we go for 1 of 5 priority salvage, and then we're basically just, you know, biting our knuckles and hoping that we actually manage to get all of the stuff that we ever hoped to have, which is a less than ideal circumstance to be in, because of course we want to be able to get our hands on all the cool gear. Also, building a direwolf is going to be so ridiculously expensive. Although with that said, Apollo's Vipers is actually capable of taking higher level missions than Howl's Harrows a little bit. Howl is still sort of cycling into getting very used to having the more aggressive setup in her lance, the heavier mechs that are capable of handling the heavier damages, and she's actually about to cycle in a 60-ton mech in about 6 days as well. So that might tip the scales a little bit, but it's going to be interesting to see how they sort of cope with that. I'm very much looking forward to fielding that champion, and hopefully the champion will be usable in many missions to come as sort of a scout mech. If I can manage to get my hands on just a couple of other pieces of equipment, we can absolutely use it as a scout mech, because it'll be awesome. Namely, I need to get my hands on a clan Nova CEWS, because if I can get my hands on one of those, oh, all the things that we can do. It'll basically be jamming and doing everything that we need. I can then swap out the sensors for something a little bit better. Or, you know, the fire control system, or all kinds of gear. In fact, if I manage to find myself a sufficiently good enough Gauss rifle targeting system, I can actually go up to having like an additional 15% or so in damage, which is on 150 damage anyway from the normal heavy Gauss rifle, is pretty interestingly powerful. But that is going to have to, of course, take a little while. Other things, of course, we can do to that is we can drop down the MML-15 to an MML-10, which also saves us a ton of heat because of the way those weapons work. Do I not have a line of sight of this base? Huh. Kind of figured I would. But yeah, that is the other plans in order to just give us even more capability, which we really do want. Although other things that we do need to keep in mind is we need an artillery mech. Artillery needs to become a part of our lives. We have been bombarded too many times at maximum range from powerful long-range missile systems and other terrifying devices to not have one in our company. We need something that's going to deal a lot of damage in a fairly powerful way. Right, it's listen kills and nothing. Fire! Oh, they do have quite a bit of point defense on us. However, they weren't able to take care of everything, which is good. But the enemy has been located. We have a chariot firing a thunderbolt. At least I think it was a thunderbolt. Can't imagine what else it would be, although it was a thunderbolt fired in direct fire mode, which direct fire mode is a way to utilize a thunderbolt missile, especially if you don't have any splash damage onto it. Oh, I continued with the 99.1. It was a Thunderbolt 15, which is a fairly dangerous piece of equipment. I'm going to continue the fire on the Shredder turret because I knew it could get the direct hit and therefore deal as much damage as possible to it. And it's probably the most useful thing that it can deal damage to, or the most... what would the word be? Efficient. That would be it. Because there's only one hit location, so all splash damage that hits it will also always hit that single hit location. It makes the Hyper Assault House a similarly effective weapon against turrets because, well, it always gets channeled into the most powerful location of the turret. So we have managed to almost chew our way through the armor. I don't anticipate he can fire an AC-20 shell at us from that range. I might be wrong on that. We may be suddenly finding ourselves under artillery shell or AC-20 shell bombardment. I kind of don't think that I'm wrong, though. So we're just going to keep the pressure on. Starting to get our way up to the edge there. The Rakatar is not going to be quite ready. Probably needs another 2 turns to get fully involved. Oh, I forgot to overload that, and I'm probably going to want to do that, because if we're about to take sustained Thunderbolt bombardment, it's going to be very important that we're fully prepared for it. So we'll have the Charger come charging forward. Was it? There's a minefield. The minefield is avoidable, though, so that does help. He's also within visual range of the target now, which does help. A Finn in his catapult will also rush off to the side. We want to spread out a little bit. We don't want to form quite the tight target. We have a Cicada off in the corner. We've also identified a heavy command bunker, as well as an Owens, and of course the chariot. The Owens could have certain tags, like the tag arrow, so that is very dangerous. Also has MML5 risk swarms infernos. No, improved, sorry. So also the command bunker has a tag barrage we're going to want to take care of. So from hopefully maximum range. If we can kill the Shredder turret here, though, that might be ideal. Targets? No visual. How about you? I'm looking for anybody who's not locked up. And that may actually end up being the Owens. We have a target on the Owens. I don't think I'm going to have too much accuracy on the command bunker, so I'm actually going to lay it on the Owens, because I kind of want to remove his arrow 4 artillery piece from the battlefield soon. And by laying a tag down, I can sort of prepare for that. We will then fire our missiles towards the Shredder turret, because we are going to penetrate, and that will cause enough damage to wipe it out. It didn't have any armor, which was kind of impressive, well, surprising. So we'll move Lament on in as well. I think I'm going to walk this one, because I don't think I'm going to be able to change any range bands by sprinting. We did walk through some mines, which apparently cause a little bit of stability. Have some accuracy on the Owens, and some on the command bunker. I'm going to focus on the Owens, so laying down a sensor lock on top of him as well. See if I can't sort of amp up my accuracy by removing any sort of evasion that he may have, which I think he may have stacked some. He did not. Okay. So a bit of a waste on that one. Managed to hit him at least once, and so now an Owens has been badly damaged. Owens is not exactly known for their insane amounts of armor. They are, of course, like 30 tons or so, and they're not designed for this role. Sprinting forward, I will avoid the minefield. Apparently, we have gotten rid of it. And show me... Oh, did it fire from the chariot? No, it was a standard. No, sure. Okay, in which case, Owens, Gauss rifle. We did manage him with a Gauss rifle as well, so the damage is starting to add up bit by bit. Thanatos, of course, that laser aim has to overload as we continue to close the range down. And I would like to take a shot at that Owens, because that Owens has been marked by multiple people and has a damaged leg. So fire away. Direct hit, managing to cause a little bit of direct fire artillery damage to everything around it, which is basically what the Risk Silver Bullet Gauss Rifle is. It's direct fire artillery. It doesn't arc or lob, but if you can see the target, you can basically do artillery damage to said target. Not quite sure if it's worth it. Might be worth replacing with a bigger cannon, but we'll have to see on that one. Maybe I could put a sniper cannon on it. it weighs 18 tons, right? And the direct damage from it does way more. That could actually be a solution to our problem. Rakitar still outside of range, as we kind of anticipated. I'm expecting at least one, well, possibly in range in the next round. He does have AC 5 range, which is pretty good, but it is something we have to keep in mind that the Owens is going to shift on forward. He's probably in tag range if he wants it. He's going to fire his missiles, but we're going to shoot them all down. I'm surprised he didn't use the tag, because the arrow tag would have been perfect for this situation. He's pretty much in the great range in order to utilize it, so I'm kind of surprised he didn't. Speaking of Owens, oh, that's some phenomenal accuracy. I'm going to multi-target on this one, because you're dead, and you need to start getting whittled. Oh, the command bunker actually having a little bit of protection from that, so I suppose not. In which case, we'll just fire normally at him, and we won't worry about it. I'll save the hag, because I don't want to waste too much fire. And it's 94% accuracy, so I'm going to fire over the shoulders of my friend over here. Hopefully we didn't hit the charger with that one at all. And did that work out the way I was kind of hoping for it? I need to get a line of sight on the charger. Where's my charger? There's my charger. And more missiles coming in. Looks like they all got... He missed badly with the barrage tag. The bunker has a tag barrage as well, which allows it to, as you can see, drop a whole bit of artillery on top of a target, which is dangerous, but he missed rather badly, actually, because that, I think, hit the chariot. Lots of incoming missile fire off from the side. I'm assuming those are all coming from turrets, actually, and nothing other than that, because I don't see any, like, massive targets. Alright, Lament, you can move right up basically to the edge of the river? The cliff. No good target. That's a good target, though, and the third one is not a great target, but we're going to focus on the command bunker, because command bunkers provide point defense turrets. They also provide jamming systems, and of course the tag barrage every other turn, which is not fun, or every 3 turns. It's just not fun to get shot at by a tag barrage. You really want to avoid it whenever possible. So we'll set up on this rim and we'll just basically blast on down at the enemy, and they hopefully will not have any way to respond. Is this the way down? Yeah, that's actually the way down. Okay, in which case I don't want you blocking the way down. I know that sounds kind of harsh, but it is true. So we're going to move over here to the side. You're actually going to get your heat under control as well as your MMLs, so you have multiple shots once again. The charger is in range to engage the cicada. Let's take a look. That is astonishingly accurate for these guns. They're boomsticks. They're not supposed to be. Wow, that was great. Nailed them both times with that. Oh, that was gorgeous. You should be proud of that, man. Like, you should be stand-up proud of that. That was amazing. Managed to nail both AC-20 shells right on into the target. That was beautiful. I can shoot at the heavy command bunker, but I kind of want to see if I can just kill this guy. So, yeah, we're going to show off the MML-15, because it's a lot of temperature, and the MML-10. Save ourselves a little bit of heat on that one. And just medium lasers. Missed pretty badly, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that we'd hit somewhere near him or in front of him, and that would detonate the entire mech. Unfortunately, it was not to be. We will, of course, sprint on forward to the... Ooh, am I not? I am getting quite a bit more ground, actually. You're going to see if you can't target the command bunker. You can, but the accuracy is poor, as to be expected, honestly, because he has a jamming system on board, which means it becomes less possible for us to nail targets easily, which we would like to do, but we have to keep in mind our limitations. Move around to there, because that'll work out. Standing on top of a rock, which apparently is still counted as being in water cover. Yeah, much greater accuracy on the Calliope turret, and on the heavy turret chassis in the background. In which case I will... Oh, no, I can't multi-target because, of course, the command bunker is a command bunker. Twin 35s. We managed to hit one anyways, and not bad at all. We're almost through that armor. If the Rakitar could just get a line of sight on that turret, it can't, at least not right now. But what it can do is it can completely wipe you out. Now, we didn't fire everything, partially because I forgot to press the button, and also partially I was a little bit worried about shooting the Thanatos in the side, but that worked out pretty good. 75% of the enemy has been defeated already. Okay, a little bit of light fire, although we did get hit with a 1 damage item, so that is some sort of stat effect. More missiles incoming, but the Thanatos, of course, coming in with that overloaded pirate AMS system, managing to shoot down most of the incoming missiles. Just a beautiful protection detail going on right here. So basically, Howl is baiting out all the fire, and then we're trying to shoot all of them out. Although it looks like I'm probably going to need another one of these in the lance to make us mostly immune. So we're probably going to be sort of in the market for that sometime soon. Sprint on forward. Let's see what you can actually see. That'll work.
I copy.
So we are now in the water, I believe, and I would like to get a little bit of firepower down onto it. I'm not sure if we're actually going to get any sort of penetration of his anti-missile system, because that flare AMS. It also sounded like a laser AMS, and that is not a turret. That's a heavy rocket carrier. Oh, so his mine dispenser's already fired. Gotcha. So that's where those mines came from, and that's sort of the only thing that those mines came from. Sprint on forward's not particularly good accuracy. I think I just want to keep the pressure going on the command turret. Managed to miss both times, only by 9% by the second shot though, so that's pretty good. And now we need to just continue to put the fire down. Eventually the enemy will crumble. We just need to continue to shoot at them enough in order to make them crumble. Triple PVC and 2 hits, 1 miss, unfortunately. And we managed to nail all 3. That might have been enough in order to force a critical. Unfortunately, as it stands, not the case. So we're going to have to continue to get even closer. The charger needs to be extra special, super close in order to do its fun. So all of that close, we did after all see it just completely blitz out. It almost completely wiped it out in one salvo it was shooting the cicada. Oh yes, time to die. You don't get to survive this next round of shooting, sir. Never mind, you do. Rather impressed, actually, considering how much firepower we put down. Mockingbird, time for you to wipe this thing out. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't want this turret intact anymore. I want it gone. Gonna shut off my heavy MRMs, and the reason why is because I don't want them jamming. A hag can't jam. We may be low on ammo for the hag, but it doesn't break. But the heavy MRMs absolutely do. So we're going to continue our push around to the side, and we'll take aim at the rocket carrier. Sure, why not? Silver bullet. Oh, close enough. Even if it wasn't a direct hit. And some counter fire from the rocket carrier. A little bit getting through, but most of it being taken care of by our lovely Thanatos, which is shooting down absolutely everything. Once I can get it to the water, I can protect it even better. Sensor lock going down on Kerensky's stick. I think the enemy has recognized the sheer danger that it presents with the twin heavy MRM-30s. It's one of the most dangerous weapon combinations ever. So I'm actually kind of curious as to what I can do with twin heavy MRM-40s. One of the reasons I'm reluctant to put the heavy MRM-40 onto the Atlas is because I kind of want to take a mech and put, well, both of them on a single mech, just to sort of see what that would do. Because it's like, that would be a tremendous amount of firepower. Alright, we're not in SRM range, so we're just going to have to, well, impact the MMLs. So we'll just continue to bombard. Not a ton of accuracy, but not the worst thing ever. The Lament can probably just stand still. The accuracy is not great. But I'm going to lay down a sensor lock. Maybe that'll improve things. Because I don't think you're that much further. Oh no, you're actually beyond my sensor range. I'm going to shoot and then scoot. Did manage to get a hit, at least 1 hit, possibly even 2, as we continue to push the Lament on forward. Once it gets to the water, it too will be basically invulnerable. And sprinting on forward ahead, as we want to be super aggressive, kill the rocket carrier whenever possible. And we missed the one and hit the other, I think, but in any case, we're starting to get through a lot of the armor. There's not a whole heck of a lot left here. Can I just... no, is this going to be... Yeah, we're just going to run. So through a spore cloud, a little bit disappointing because now he's going to have to take a little bit of additional fire because I anticipate the enemy will attempt to kill him now that he is a little bit more vulnerable to fire. Although Kerensky's stick is also a totally viable candidate. Alrighty, so multi-target it is. And the multi-target will go down to, sure, we'll target the Calliope, even though it's not all that special. And bravo. And you can go bravo, bravo, and sure. Murder, death, kill. So some solid hits onto the Calliope, and then this thing's gone. It is deleted. We have dealt with the entirety of the base Garrison, and now on to destroy the warehouses. And I gotta say, the Garrison was incredibly disappointing. There's really no other way to put that. It's super, super boring in terms of a Garrison force. The Rakadar is going to have to spend a turn and get both of its rotary autocannons totally unjammed. So that's wonderful. Thanatos, now that it's in the water, is basically immune to the heat that you guys are trying to stop me with. And I will fire a Silver Bullet Gauss at the Calliope, because when we get close to the Calliope, it'll become much worse. Also causing damage to the buildings. Incoming missiles, and a couple of them managing to get through the defenses that the Thanatos is putting up. But the number of missiles they're having is proving to be less and less and less. Your defenses are crumbling, and you know it. Also, you know, your point defenses are pretty much gone at this point, so I can just basically continue to fire everything I have at you. And it's fun to me. wonder if you realize that. All right, still not quite within range, so we're still having to utilize our standard LRMs with their less accuracy. Well, their less damage is the big thing. And the Lament as well, shifting on forward. Hopefully can get a couple of accurate shots. And by a couple, I mean 3. Triple hit on that one. We are now through the armor. He doesn't have a whole heck of a lot left. If I can get the Thanatos on target, we may actually be able to kill it in one round of shooting. Gonna walk in order to get rid of some of my stability damage. Gonna focus on this turret up here. Because 1, the accuracy was better, and 2, because I think I might be able to kill it with the Thanatos. I think the Thanatos has a fairly solid chance of actually managing to nail the target because of the way that he does multiple crits all over the place. It's really rather ridiculous how much damage he can deal in the right circumstances. Or I can use the Calliope. Or not the Calliope, I can use the Hyper Assault Gauss, which we did, so that's been taken down. So we have 1 more turret to go, a single heavy LRM turret. Can I get within range of the Raktar? No. We'll start moving around the other corner, though, which may actually place him in a dangerous position that I may not want him to be in, but we'll have to find out about that soon. Oh, do I just not have a line? Oh, I've lost the target. Alright, in that case, we will also push the Thanatos around to the other side, because the Thanatos should actually still be within range to protect everybody. The pirate defense is actually rather huge. Alright, we can sprint on forward now. I heard a beep, and there's the target, and we may as well lay down a sensor line to make sure that everybody has a location target on it. So there we go, sensor lock onto the heavy LRM turret to take aim and fire the LRMs. So a solid amount of damage already onto his armor, not much else anywhere else. The Lament, do you have a target? You absolutely do. Triple PPC. Managed to hit it twice on that one. We'll continue to walk on forward. Being in the water makes us basically immune to heat right now, which is lovely. And the Charger, I don't think, is going to have a target just yet. Although it can start flattening buildings, I don't want it to. It has a very limited pool of ammunition, and I would very much prefer the mechs that didn't have limited pools of ammunition to be the mechs that are actually, firing down on it. Or up at it. Show me my turret. There it is. Okay, gas rifles only, so we will fire Gauss rifle, and then that, and we'll fire twin Gauss, destroy the turret, which is lovely, and then we'll turn and fire a whole bunch of medium lasers at the targets, which is lovely as well. Okay, Coach coming in with the Thanatos. He still has 5 rounds to go with his Silver Bullet Gauss rifle, which I will actually probably... Sure, let's see how much damage it does. I'm going to select the target from up here, just to make sure that I get something that's going to cause a lot of damage to everything. And causing, well, damage to the entire table, which is great. Say the enemy under a lot of strain, which was, of course, half the plan. Yeah, I'll multi-target with you, because you're just going to flatten 2 buildings. It's going to be great. You can target this building, and that building. A, B, run the gun. That building's out. I think we may... That looked almost like we took out 2 buildings doing that. So 2 buildings down just from that, so we're starting to flatten the entirety of the enemy base. Mockingbird can probably knock down another significant chunk of the base. In fact, she can probably just dedicate 1 heavy MRM per target she wants destroyed. You, and you. Set to Bravo, set to off. And yeah, cause some havoc. So heavy MRMs, more than enough firepower to wipe out some buildings. Alright, so the target has been basically flattened. Is that it? That is it. That was disgusting with how little enemy presence there actually was. I'm actually rather put out by that because I took this one for full salvage expecting I was going to run into a whole bunch of stuff. I really, really wish now that I had taken this one for cash because that would have been ideal. Had we taken that one for cash, we would have made so much money. But we didn't. Instead, we're only going to make 244,709. Despite the 35% increase, I regret everything. Yay! Owen's parts. Oh, God. MRM 40, it's only a standard one. Tag arrow, sure. Do I have a tag arrow? I had 1, I now have 2, which is great. Active probe may end up grabbing that. Ferrofibrous clan, who had the clan stuff? Sensor Sentinel. I have none of these. 5% active probe by 4. Ooh. I want that for sure. I have 50 armor. Not really interested in MRM ammunition. I'm not interested unless you're improved. Narc, Haywire, more acid SRM rounds, which I am starting to get a little bit low on. I mean, it's not super bad, but it is something to keep sort of in track of. I would like to grab something useful though. 180 braided fusion core that I could sell might be something good. Internal combustion engines ×2 is only, yeah, that's less than the 180 core. I'll probably grab that. Does I want a direct missile fire accuracy? I already have one, so I don't need it. Otherwise, I would, because then I could utilize it with, say, twin heavy armor M40s, and that would be just ridiculous amounts of damage. I have active probes, right? Oh, I don't. Well, I grabbed the Sentinel and the Clan Pharaoh. I'm really confused as to where the Clan Pharaoh came from. Who was packing this? It had to be the Owens. Lock it down. Okay, we managed to get the 2 Owens parts, which will sell for a pretty decent price, I imagine, because they are the risk versions of them. We did get the active probe as well, which is always pretty helpful, and IFF jammers. So not bad. That sensor Sentinel may actually wind up on my, onto my, God, I'll remember the name in a moment, champion. It's my favorite mech. You'd think I'd actually remember the name, but apparently not. So managing to get our hands on a really nice sensor kit, actually. Had there been no other choice, I probably would have grabbed that. I would have preferred the cash and 1 of 5 priority salvage, and that would have been amazing. But unfortunately, yeah, we kind of got gypped on that one. We'll sell the fusion core. That'll help out a little bit with expenses, but we lost like 1 million Seabills worth of stuff that we could have made. So a little depressing on that one. But we move closer and closer to total victory. 2 days and 32,901 Seabills. Hopefully that's not taking more than 3 slots. It's not. So another 2 days to get most of the lance ready to go. So, oh no. No, stop. Oh, command console is tomorrow. Command console is indeed tomorrow. That'll be very interesting to see tomorrow. However, the champion has 4. I do need to start fixing stuff in my mech bay, don't we? Great check on the barracks, of course. We want to make sure that our pilots are fully upgraded and ready to rock and or roll. As we'll go through all of that. Solid with these pilots, except for Omega, but Omega's been injured, so that's fine. You are so close to getting Berserker. I gotta start fielding you in battles sometime soon, just so you get the experience to rock and roll with it. Quick check on the map. Oh yeah, the Thanatos is actually not ready to rock, because the Thanatos has a busted laser AMS. Oh no, it has a busted silver bullet. Really? Huh. Ain't that something? So we'll repair that weapon mount. What do we have left in terms of missions in the command center? Because we're not going to be able to fill the Thanatos, so we may as well do, I suppose, Liberations. 417, working for Tortuga, but the cash payout isn't all that good, so I'm going to go for maximum salvage. So 2.5 skulls, could be better, could be worse. And I will add in, I guess, the Warhammer or the Pulsipul. The Warhammer. Throw in the Rakatar, throw in the Lament, and throw in, of course, the Catapult Mark III. And then, of course, Jester drives the Rakatar because he does a really good job of it. And then Death Crusade can drive the Lament. Right. Let's rock and roll. Hopefully we'll be able to clear this mission without too much trouble. Also, hopefully we'll be able to run into a couple of really nice pieces of equipment. Maybe we can rob some mechs, which would obviously be ideal. Although I need to start looking at, well, aside from a artillery mech, I also need to start looking into... Oh my. I just realized something. The Marauder has support slots in its arms. Never mind, dumb thought. But yeah, so, where was I? Oh yeah, we also need to build a flamer mech, something similar to the Jade, or a plasma rifle mech really would be what we'd prefer. If you have 4 plasma rifles onto a mech, you can cause a lot of damage to someone in a fairly short order. Anyway, Liberation. A heavily armed pirate band has taken control of a facility on Lima and are using it as a base of operations for raiding and terrorizing nearby settlements. The Tortugan authorities do not have the local military resources to assault the base because we're too busy owning all of clan space, or at least we were, given how extensively they've entrenched. We need you to destroy the base so that they can no longer use it as a staging area for their criminal acts. This will be a 4 of 17 priority salvage, 249,600 Seabills, and 2.5 skulls. And a mission like this could either be really, really lucrative or really, really pointless. Only 800,000 Seabills, it's not amazing in terms of payout. And the 4 of 17 priority salvage could get you, well, it could net you whole mechs. If they've got even one heavy that we're able to capture and be able to grab the whole thing, that can basically make up for it. 2.5 skulls is sort of at that level where it's possible. Also, turrets can actually run into some pretty interesting gear should you be able to salvage it. So we are going to pause this recording so we can jump immediately into the action. You don't even want to know how long that load was. So let's drop down onto the planet and see if we can't get a little bit of havoc going on. Dropping down onto the beach, as long as we're not stuck in the middle of nowhere. I was kind of expecting this actually to be a urban map after that loading time, but okay, just as long as I can get to the shoreline. There beeth the base that we've come to destroy, and then we should be bringing a fairly considerable amount of firepower to the field, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful about things as we sort of move on forward. We want to get off of this, well, this beach as soon as possible. It's a little bit of a dead zone to be in, because 1, you're very, very slow, 2, you're very, very open, and 3, well, you can blast away as if it's absolutely nobody's business, because water is chill, yo. I wouldn't recommend wanting to be here. All kinds of bad things can end up happening to you in a very short period of time if you're just sitting on the water, versus, you know, being in cover where you get a 20% damage reduction, which tends to be kind of important. And we're just going to rush the rest of the force on forward. I'm not probably going to have a line of sight on anything in this coming round, although I should make sure that I've set the Thanatos to oh no, we didn't bring the Thanatos. Oh crap. I just realized my grand mistake. The grand mistake, of course, being that without the Thanatos, I don't have an anti-missile defense system. So that's less than good. Overlooked that a little bit. So if we get nuked from long-range missile fire, this is kind of getting rough. We have found a Brigand. The Brigand is, of course, equipped with a pair of X-Pulse lasers, 2 fire fists, and chaff countermeasures. It's a 30 or 35 ton light. It's not the biggest thing in the world. It tends to have some pretty good gear on it, as you can see. I mean, the fire fists alone would be pretty fun to just mount onto something. Although, compared to boomsticks, fire fists just feel just a little bit anemic compared to that. So probably not going to feature on any of our mechs anytime soon. The Catapult Mark III can shoot at it, but it's an 18% chance. What's your current negatives? You literally actually do have a sensor lock onto the target. So I don't even need to deploy sensor lock on that one. You've already got it. I need to get Kerensky's stick into line of sight of something soon. We're also locating Ibesi. So this is a super cattle master. I'm not quite sure how huge that is. Also got an urban mech turret, which is less than fun. They tend to be equipped with some pretty fun weaponry, like gas rifles, 2 urban mech turrets. Oh, life is getting even more fun. Lovely. And of course our Warhammer, just a bit too slow, just a bit not well armed enough for the important job that we're having to try and do. It does need a total rebuild and overhaul, but that'll come sort of after I have finished bringing the champion back online. You may have noticed I haven't really been fielding the Warhammer because I don't think it's all that good at the moment. It was our first heavy, and you know, it was really cool to have it as our first heavies. It popped up and was able to do just tremendous amounts of damage early on, or so we thought, and then dispassionate looking comparing to several of our other mechs. It's not as good as we thought. Cool, but not as good as we thought. Well, I might get it shipped over to some maximum range firepower, so triple PPC shot at a 42%. Miss and hit. Maybe even 2 hits, it wasn't entirely clear. And the Warhammer is going to shift on over as well. His best weapon is his ER large laser in terms of long-range combat capability. And if he manages to bring that on target, he may actually cause a pretty significant amount of damage to, well, things. Okay, show me that urban mech turret that we just... Hang on a second. Okay, pirate. Like, wait a second, do you have a rotary autocannon? And they do, in fact, have rotary autocannons. They just don't have the rotary autocannon that I would normally care about. That, of course, being the Briscrack 5, because it's so hilariously good. Speaking of Briscrack 5s, we actually ran into one in a shop recently, and I bought 2 more, so I can build some pretty fun gear with that. Oh, looks like we've almost annihilated one of the 3 structures. Should have taken this one for cash, because then I could just sort of pop in, maximum range open fire, and, well, leave with 800,000 C-bills. I know that's a pretty pathetic return on investment on that one. I would much rather bring in the entire force. What are you? Another bandit. Well, no, the bandit. Oh, yes, you're a dervish. I would have been much more interested in stealing you if I didn't have Kerensky's stick, because Kerensky's stick is equipped with, well, the 2 heavy MRM-30s that I was going to put on one of you. I don't know what I'd do with you. I mean, you're 5 tons heavier than the current catapults that I have, but the catapults that I have built-in Clan XL engines that if they explode, they don't lose them. Which makes it really hard to just replace them, because it's like, well, I could, but I'd rather not, because, oh, they're so good. Oh, the Rakatar had... You allowed yourself to be seen by the Rakatar. You do realize that was a really, really bad idea, right? As we have demonstrated.
I think I hit something good.
You didn't shoot the catapult in the back, right? Missed something. Something missed something.
Lots of armor.
You apparently have lost lots of armor. Who lost lots of armor? not seeing the mech that has suddenly lost a ton of armor. You're 1126. You have more health than you started with? I don't know how that happened. The guy, no, that's a... Yeah, I don't know how we got shelled by anything. So I guess it doesn't matter. Let's just move the charger on forward, because I want to get this charger in tight with people, because I'd like to be able to fire big autocannon shells into folks, because it's fun. Switch on over from slugs to clusters to give us a little bit better accuracy. Go on to Warlord to give us above the 50%, and let the shotguns blaze. That was a lot of misses. To be fair, there was also a lot of shells being fired, but we're going to see if we can't wipe people completely out. I'm going to... only kill the appropriate rifle, so Bessie's pretty ignorable, honestly. I don't hate to be rude about it, but Bessie is pretty ignorable. Oh, the sniper artillery, on the other hand, is definitely something we're going to want to kill. Let's fire the brigand, see if we can't have a little bit of fun with him. I mean, it's a little bit of a waste, but we'll also walk the lament on forward. 35 versus 61. Yeah, see if you can't rip him apart. Hey, there goes an arm. Or something. He's lost important pieces of equipment, and he is not having a good day. We do want to kind of kill that risk crack. The sniper artillery emplacement would be good for grabbing, sniper artillery shells. Shadowhawk rolling it forward. Pirate Shadowhawk, I assume? Oh, yeah, it's the bad one. It's the one where not even I am afraid of it. Oh, that's just such a junk machine. AC5 negative, it's just bad all around. Oh, that's also sniper turret. That's not bad. That's gonna hurt a lot. Fire the Gauss rifles. Managing to miss both of the Gauss rifles and hit with one of the medium lasers. So a little less than ideal because, twin Gauss rifle strike would have been awesome. And it didn't happen. So we're just gonna have to sort of struggle through. So we're dealing with 2 sniper cannons. If we steal them both, that would be very interesting to do things with. I don't know what I'd do with it. I mean, it's an 18-ton weapon, so, trying to fit them all in doesn't really work under most circumstances. You need to kind of build in other directions. Kerensky stick, I would love to give you a direct line of sight on anything, honestly. And you do have a shot on that, and you may as well kill it. Because I'm not here in the business of keeping Bessies alive. I have no reason to. There is a Mozilla that I might want to steal, but not a Bessie. D-Warhammer, and the Warhammer finally coming on to ground. And we'll have a line of sight on a couple of targets. You know what, sure, fire at that. Did manage to connect. But I wanted to do it because it was a little bit of a safer decision. Because I didn't want to shoot anybody in the back. Because we're starting to get a little bit bunched up. And that's unfortunately going to continue to be the case. No, I'm not. I was about to say I might be able to get a line of sight on him using the Rakatar, but that's not going to happen. The range is just far too long. Especially for ER large laser only range. Yeah, we're not getting anything on that. So Jester, however, can bring the Rakatar on forward, as long as I can get a line of sight that is not, intersected by enemies. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, so we're just going to rush up here to the water's edge, provide our little ECM bonus to everybody. Alright, Pyro Rack fire, returning onto us. Doesn't look like I managed to connect with the charger, which is always lovely, because I'd prefer not to have the charger explode. The Lament also taking a little bit of long-range fire, but I also don't think he managed to connect with anything on that one either. So doing pretty good on that one, and we're feeling a tad inspired. Alright, now the Lament can come, steadily waltzing forward because the Lament is just hilarious at everything that it does. The long-range firepower on this mech is hilariously good. I could actually kill you. I could even start to engage you. In fact, it's perfectly comfortable standing right here. Triple PPC, managing to nail the Brigand quite heavily. Left arm has completely gone. Sensors destroyed. Howl should actually be able to make a pretty good position on this one, right? Yes, she can. I will be revealed to the turret, but I'm feeling pretty confident on that one. Please kill the Brigand. Good shots with the Gauss rifle. Killed his XL gyro, which, oh no, we only critted it, so we might be able to steal that. Although, actually no, we blew out the center torso to kill that, didn't we? Yeah, no saved for us. I'm going to run into a position where I'm not quite as vulnerable to being shot at by everybody, but I do want to hit the Urban turret. Another 40 missiles going out. This is my last of my list kills. So, crits. Hey, we critted it to death. Nice. So that's going to be one of the turrets down. I don't even have to worry about it. Paradox, in your charger, you still have a lot of ground to cover. You actually can see the target, which is actually kind of astonishing to me. And you've jammed your racks. That was dumb. I should have set it back to standard slugs. But I suppose clusters will do for now. Continue to run on forward. I don't think his accuracy is going to be all that good. His accuracy is never that good. It's just really, really bad. All the time. Fire. Well, you missed everything by a huge margin. God, I'm gonna build the other mech with that one. Ugh, I just gotta rip this thing apart and put it back together out of the ways, because your accuracy's so bad. It's your cockpit, isn't it? Yeah, you just have a standard fire control system. You don't have any sort of bonus arms. Like, you're just really terrible. The bandit hopping on back. Not being too aggressive. He is quite concerned about the continued viability of his operations. We're going to run on forward through a sport cloud, unfortunately. However, some really accurate fire. Let's see if we can go from max to nothing. Oh, yeah. I love this mech so much. Oh, the sniper emplacement is offline. And how do we do it? One Racketar that didn't even jam his guns to do it. I love it. When he gets to be a gunnery 10 pilot, it's going to be even better. Shadowhawk has revealed himself. He has 30 missiles. We should be very wary of that. And he managed to hit a couple of things. The gas wolf has been touched. We do need to be also worried somewhat about the sniper, because the sniper can actually deal a lot of damage should he choose to do so. And they often do, because, you know, they're sniper turrets. They like to cause lots of damage. They're kind of killjoys. Yeah, I'm going to fire multiple targets. That's not a target I want to shoot at. Okay, we'll fire it at just you. So give this sniper turret the whole tamale, the whole barrage, and a little bit of light fire coming from our very badly damaged little turret there, which I accidentally fired cluster rounds into. He's unjammed his gun, so we're going to have to make sure that he does not have an opportunity to do anything. We will shift on forward, and, well, gas rifle. Yeah, gas rifles will kill this, I think. I imagine. Big penetrating damage. And is that dead? That is not dead.
I think I hit something good.
Well, I happen to have a pair of shotguns that say you're about to die. In fact, can I get a line of sight? I can on the bandit, and I don't want to. The bandit is currently a target that I really don't feel like engaging from at the moment. Do you have a line of sight? You do. Yeah, kill it. Twin shotguns will be more than enough to make sure that it doesn't exist anymore. Oh, oh yeah, I forgot you're a pilot that doesn't have shooting good, which is a little less than ideal. Can you get a direct line of sight on? Listen, kill SRMs to the Infernos. Click, click to turn them all on. Yeah, you can. Okay, lovely. That's what I was kind of hoping for. Hi. The accuracy ain't exactly great, I understand, but I kind of want to see if I can out Inferno you. I mean, it's a bit of a challenge because you have a lot of incendiaries on your team right now. But there's a chance I might be able to kill you. Okay, no, we're not. I need a lot of that to hit. And we've triggered the radical heatsink flush, so we now have that to work with, which is always quite helpful. When you activate your radical prototype or your radical double heatsink kit, it manages to just start shoveling all the heat that you ever had to be completely gone. Oh, you're a standard turret. I thought you were a sniper. Oh, you are, but you're not. I get you. You're a sniper turret, not a sniper turret emplacement. Yeah, but still, the joke was fine. Kerensky can move forward. Kerensky stick. If Kerensky himself were to come back, he would drive this mech. Maybe, potentially. I'd say a 50% chance of that being true. Because this mech, first of all, it's got a hag, which didn't exist in Kerensky's time. Second of all, the heavy MRMs, which don't exist in BattleTech at all. It's a part of the whole risk thing. Well, they're just absurdly strong. Hi. Let's demonstrate how powerful racks can be. Potentially. I mean, this is the worst possible angle to engage from. Straight on ahead is the worst angle for our racks to shoot from. But even still, he's managed to almost tear off an arm, make the man unsteady, and do fairly solid damage throughout the entirety of the mech. So not exactly something that you want to promote. Yeah. You're horrible. The bandit is actually potentially dangerous. I mean, the amount of heat he can put down is pretty significant. I'm really surprised he decided to jump instead of, deal with all of this. But hey, who am I to complain? I mean, I'm not complaining. If I were to complain, that would be just inviting disaster, and we prefer not to do that. We'll go with cluster.
I got you.
Don't break the gun, please. Oh, you didn't break that gun, that's for sure. Did you break your own gun, though? That is, of course, a very important question. That's Kerensky stick. That's the charger. Oh, the charger taking a little bit of hits. Not happy with that at all. I was expecting... Well, actually, no. I stood still for that round. It was an accident, but I still stood still for the round. Should have moved and fired. It would have been far more effective. Your mech is on fire, and you've moved next to the charger, who I've been dying to test in melee. Please, please, Paradox. Be in range. No, I wanted it to be good so bad. All right.
Enemy reinforcements detected.
Oh shoot. That's close. That's right on my flank. Got a Shadowhawk and a Centurion. Right. I'm running out of cluster shells. We need to stop using them. And instead, you use good old-fashioned standard AC-20 rounds. So speaking of using good old-fashioned standard AC-20 rounds, he missed with one. That's very unfortunate. I was hoping you would hit with everything, and that would just be... Oh, hi. Blackjack, BJ1. Anubis! Oh no. The Anubis is equipped with a Risk ML. So that's worthy of being stolen. The Blackjack is nasty, but actually the Blackjack is also currently a star, so kill the star. The reason why we're killing the star is because, well, there was recently an episode of Tech Talks... Shouldn't have talked about it. Gosh darn it. There was recently an episode of Tech Talks BattleTech where he spoke specifically on the Blackjack. Apparently someone in his Black Pants Legion was complaining to him that he doesn't do anything with the Blackjack because the Blackjack is apparently awesome, and honestly the Blackjack is not all that awesome. But hey, some people view, well, some people collect rocks, which is about as far as I can get wrong with that one. Let's see if we can't hurt this guy. Both of the gas rifles on target, which is grand. Jester in the Rakatar. Oh no, you've presented the golden angle, sir. Shadowhawk. See what I'm talking about? Get to the side and it's drill, baby, drill. So I do kind of want to steal the bandit, but I also want to steal that Anubis because the Anubis happens to be equipped with some really good gear, and that Centurion needs to die. That AC-20 on a Centurion is much too dangerous to be left alive. Yeah, that's my fault. I was being the dumb. Oh no, that was the Gas Wolf. Never mind, that's fine. You do that all day, every day. I don't even care. Coach, in your Warhammer, I suppose the right plan is to turn around and fight. You're gonna have to fight a Blackjack. I know, this is... You're nearly incapable of doing such things in this mech. It's my fault for constructing such a mech, I understand that, but still. Sensor lock. See if I can't get some level of accuracy out of this bloody thing. That's the Anubis. The Anubis is the thing that's jamming it all.
Here we go.
Just fire everything you got. Hey, we hit him. He recoiled quite heavily from being shot at once. Right, so I do need to, however, take control of this Anubis. Because Mr. Anubis, I came to the field with, well, incendiaries and a warlord. But mostly the incendiaries, not gonna lie. Fire all of them. See if I can't get his heat completely managed. Well, 63 heat is not enough heat. I need to bring Finn around, and luckily for us, they're not targeting him. The Charger can probably finish off whatever it wants. It's really good at that kind of thing. Come sprinting. Engage the Anubis. Don't be in the spore cloud. Be next to the spore cloud. That's where it's safe. And my sensor lock is not yet ready. Oh well. Fire! Infernos! That's another 45 heat, so it's going up slowly. The Crusade. Can continue your engagement against the Blackjack BJ1. Triple. Wow. That was pretty shitty. Like, that was like really bad. You should be ashamed of yourself for that round of shooting. Alright. Oh, thank you. Don't mind if I do. The Anubis has better kit. So, if you're alive after this, I'm gonna be kind of surprised. Charger, coming on with the charge. Punch. And... Yes, it is everything I wanted. Oh, I forgot you had a reticle prototype. That would have actually made you worthwhile. Well. Can I shoot the Blackjack? Without worrying about a heat, of course. No, just aim at the... Aim at the... Sniper turret, there we go. Twin Gauss rifle shell. Fire away. Good thud. And the sniper turret's almost dead. Not quite destroyed, unfortunately we weren't able to get that lucky. But I will now run out of the fire and get my still in control. I would like to fire at least one set of missiles over towards that target, but I suppose that's not going to happen. The Anubis is moving now on 22. He's starting to cook a little bit. If he decides not to move, and I can move Mockingbird on 19 first, then that would be ideal, but obviously that's not going to happen. If he's smart, he's going to run to the water. I don't know how smart he actually is, but he's going to stand still and utilize his coolant flush.
Standing by.
Good plan, buddy. Good plan. I'm just going to walk up right in front of you and utilize all of my firepower. Oh, you don't have a stealth system. That actually kind of surprises me, not gonna lie. In which case, enjoy the heat. Never mind, weapon exploded. And he's obviously not having a good day. Coach, honestly, I'd like you to kind of finish off the guy up there, but you know what? Just shoot him. How is your accuracy? What's your problem? Gunnery 7, arm mounted -1, inspired -2. Target moved +10. Why was everybody else able to shoot him then? Ah, whatever, ignore him. Go Target move +12. But he doesn't have spawn protection. There's something wrong with this mech. I'm gonna have to do something to it. Probably gonna store it and bring it back out because there's clearly something buggy on this thing. Because nobody moved +10. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in storage. I'm gonna rebuild it just from scratch, possibly. All right, Jester.
What's up, boss?
Right, I have another target to die because I'd prefer him not to do anything, and it's rather hilarious when you do things. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to kill him basically in one round, given the fact that you're staring him in the face and that's your least accurate angle. But I had hope, little bits, just little bits of hope. That sniper turret's going to require another round of being shot at. Charge is going to take a little bit of light LRM fire, not able to connect, which is always lovely. We do need to consider saving some things. Like what? Okay, so you decided to, you know, not utilize your AC-20, which is your only real purpose for existing. And we're down to the Blackjack now. So the Blackjack's been shot at quite a bit, and I wonder how he intends to handle the pressure. Hopefully not well. In fact, hopefully he'll just stand still and realize that all life is futile and there's no reason at all to attempt to get up in the morning and try and challenge me. Missed by 92%. You're trying, at least. I think he actually literally stood still. Okay. Right. Charger. Charger can actually get a shot at the Blackjack. Well, if you can see it, let's see how well. With 91% accuracy. Somebody stop this mech. Double tap. Oh, so good. And apparently +10 heat.
Reporting critical hit.
Oh, I must have like blown up a heatsink or something? Lamentadore. Yeah, just move it to his side and light him all the way up. He's not dead, but that's certainly a way to begin lighting him up. Pilot, if I were you, I would not be in that mech. If I were you, I would get out of that mech faster than anything possible. Alright, catapult. Hi, 61% accuracy. I'm going to sensor lock you to see if I can increase that at all because, well, the higher that number goes, the more on fire you get to be, and I like setting mechs on fire. You see, it's a really enjoyable thing.
Waiting for orders.
Mockingbird, you can also see this target, and in fact, if you move just a little bit forward, you can probably get a direct line of sight and be within your range bracket, which is lovely. Alright, well, actually, no, that made things worse. Gas rifle off, and incendiaries. Unless, of course, we set off, ammunition, in which case he's going to explode, which is less than ideal. The gas wolf can, turn around and kill that thing. Kill the turret. Goodbye, turret. There we go. Sniped. Good job.
One less turret.
So we should probably start saving people to a certain extent. Alright, Warhammer. I shouldn't need to put this much effort into it. I suppose he didn't move this time? There we go. Target eliminated. So we're going to focus on seeing if we can't steal the last two mechs out there. So the rotary autocannon mech can basically multi-target. And your primaries are that and that. Unless the building is... Oh, never mind, okay. Yep. And blast away. One building down. And two buildings down. It's already mostly all the way through our targets already. The enemy does not stand a chance. Yeah, you're not turning on anytime soon, buddy. You kind of better hope that you don't turn on anytime soon, because you'll fry. You'll fry bad. Yeah, you tried missiles against my only mech that actually had a laser anti-missile defense system. That was a bad plan. Finn. Right, Finn. Well, Well, you're going to attempt to start lighting this guy on enough fire to make him not want to be in the mech anymore. Hey, you did it. Good job. And then we're going to do the exact same thing to the Shadowhawk if at all possible. Now, the angle is not so great because the only ways up are, well, pretty far along. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to get that done. But I have faith in you and Mockingbird, and I think you can take it. Death Crusade, you can flatten a building, because why not? The Lament, no, take out a building. That's more important. There we go. All targets have been destroyed. Get 7 units of the evac, so hope we're not going to do that, are we? Nah, we're going to hang around. We're going to have some fun. Don't you like fun? Reserve. I need a Mockingbird, if you don't mind. Like, I appreciate the amount of hilarious amounts of firepower that the Racketeer can put down, but let's be clear here. We're going to light him on fire, because that's a little bit more enjoyable. So Mockingbird, there you are. Okay, lovely. I need a direct line of sight. That'll do. And the accuracy does not appear to be... Oh, no, never mind. The accuracy just needs to refresh. Hit him with the Infernos. Lots of unsteadiness. 123 heat is always a decent chunk of change. We'll have the Charger start to move around in case he gets any sort of crazy ideas like trying to escape. Howl can do a similar thing, honestly, and she'll just move up here.
Roger.
Be very intimidating to the enemy. That's what we want. We wish to intimidate them. So depending on how he reacts at 14... Oh, get back here, you coward. Yeah, if you... I could just sort of wait. Because he will barbecue himself. Like, he doesn't have a chance to survive. That is facts and truth. There you go. He's offline. Paradox can, I suppose, start moving up the hill. It's not the biggest thing in the world, I mean, because we've already got him mostly handled.
What's up, Commander?
The Lament could shoot him. We're not going to bother. Again, similar... Oh, shoot, shouldn't have moved there. Because I'm currently blocking a perfect back shot. Not that I really want to shoot him back there. Doing so would probably be a little bit too much pressure for him to handle. You can get out of the way so that we can put Mockingbird wherever the heck we want. Although shooting into the side, probably not his best idea. Aim for the head. And more heat. Or, you know... The ammo could explode. That works too. We may want to stop using incendiary heavy MRMs because they're really, really good at wiping people out. Like, perhaps even too good. And it's becoming a bit of a problem if you're going for full capture attempts, which we have been. So, alright. 181,000. Contract increased by severe amounts. We could have actually made over 1 million C-bills on that one, I feel. And moving forward, on to the stuff. Centurion came in yeah, we're taking an entire Centurion because it's going to cost us 2. The Anubis was detonated in many, many pieces. And for anybody who's wondering, why does he keep saying Anubis? It's Anubis. It's an Expanse joke. Guys, the Expanse is, what, next week? Yes, the Expanse is, the next season is next week. Come on. Cut me some slack. It's amazing. Yeah, we're going to grab an entire Centurion. I could pick up an entire hatchet. That would give me 2 of them. And they don't. Ooh. I can put them anywhere. I think. They replace a hand actuator, so I can put 2 of them on there. Twin hatchets, you say? I don't think it's worth it. It's funny, don't get me wrong. But it's not worth it. Do I have any? I have a sniper cannon, right? Oh, the sniper cannon didn't survive. Interesting. Alright, lock it in. Got a blackjack part, a Shadowhawk part. We managed to get 2 of the fire fists, so that puts us up to 4 fire fists. So now we need... Oh, no, we don't. I thought we had 2 already. Apparently not. Battle control system Artemis, which is, you know, interesting. Oh, Mark II. And we got the hatchet. Oh, and the sensor tracker. And the sniper ammo. So that puts us up to 2 rounds of sniper ammo. I think we have a sniper cannon. So if that's the case, then we can actually field a sniper now, I think. We just, you know, need to find the whatchamacallit, the thingamabob, the who'smo. I will come up with a solution to this name soon in a moment. We have a solution to our artillery problem. Possibly. We're going to have to compare the sniper versus the arrow, because I think I have 2 arrows, and I'd kind of rather would we use the arrow, because the arrow is super long range and can be rather accurate. Hilariously so. Davian managed to take some stuff from Tortuga. Ooh. 22,256 for the next 2 days of repair time is probably well warranted. And we're pretty good on that one. Come over to manage tasks, put the champion to the top because, of course, we are, in fact, the champions. And we will keep on fighting until the end. So that should be ready to go soon. We need to chill out for a couple of days. Hey, the command console is done, so we've now go into engineering. Oh, we have full drop numbers, full mech control, and now we just need to finish up getting the tonnage back up. So it'll be this upgrade and the next upgrade, and then we're done with that additional leopard. And we'll be on par with where Apollo's Vipers are. So wait another day. And stop. Champion is in 2 days. Thanatos is in 2 days. 1. 2. Stop the clock. Alright, show me the mech bay. Right, so we have a Marauder to build, an Atlas to build, which is going to cost a lot, and a Screamer Lamb, which is being fixed. Oh, we have such an interesting company. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 15 mechs. We don't need 15 mechs. I need to start going through a list and figuring out what I can sell. Because actually, most of our mechs are pretty gosh darn good. I'm not going to lie. Some of our mechs, like this Rakatar, is insanely good. Kerensky Stick is pretty gosh darn phenomenal. Even the Lament is really good with the way that we've built. The only problem I have with them is he's got an excellent engine, which I often seem to forget. But the Weapon Mount Pluses are just so powerful. But yeah, for some reason this Warhammer just cannot seem to catch a break. It's going to need a full redesign, and we're going to have to look into seeing exactly how we want to do that. But we do have the Marauder and the Warhammer, which I do find amusing, because Heavy Metal came out recently, and those are the mechs in it. Let's go check out the store. A little bit of shopping to do, potentially. I mean, we have money. Not a ton, but we have money. Equipment. Ooh, a Void System. I don't have one of these. Oh, but that's just being sold by the system, so I don't even have to worry about that. Okay, faction shop. AC5, diverse lasers. That's not looking all that good. I do need more Ultra AC5s. I really do. Because I'm trying to build up a collection of them. I need 2 more, actually. Now, I'm not really looking for Inner Sphere ones because it's a little bit rough, but that is a thought. I'm going to grab all this UAC5 ammo. I'm planning a build. I'm probably not going to grab those, though. It's a little bit too expensive for what they're going to give me. Missiles. Nothing really all that interesting. Yeah, that's pretty... Ooh, never mind. Tandems. Give me all the tandems you got. Tandems are a lot of fun. They deal damage through armor, which is hilariously good if you're looking to penetrate things. Composite is ugly, and I hate it. Censor's Clan is interesting to grab. They're just too expensive, though. Alright, not bad, not bad. Selling, though. I believe we picked up some fusion cores, didn't we? Yes, we have a 180 rated fusion core. We're going to get rid of that, because who needs that? In fact, we're also going to get rid of a pair of 200 rated fusion cores, because we don't need those other. 250 or bust, which we now have. Good. So a single 300 rated fusion core, that's got to go into the Atlas. Otherwise, it'll be just too gosh darn slow. Although I would like an even larger engine to go into that thing, because we're probably going to need it. Also, I'd like to put a 300 rated or better fusion core into the Marauder, but that's going to be a thing. We're going to have to hunt down more 300 rated fusion cores. That's going to be the hard facts we have to face. And you need to be rebuilt, or better yet, junked for someone else. If I did, how much would it give me? That's a lot of cash, actually. That's a rather astonishing amount of cash. We may consider that sometime soon. We have such good mechs. Some of them are really, really good. I really think this is a pretty solid build. Oh, but look at this. This is golden. Look at that. Perfectly filled. Light Probe, Guardian ECM, all combined. It's clan tag, but all combined. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. It is such a thing of beauty. Punches like a boss, has additional damage thanks to the boomsticks. Other things I could do with this thing now is I have 2 hatchets. They replace hand actuators. I don't have the space for that. Although if I had more clan endo, I could. Unfortunately, I'm out. I use my only clan endo on my personal favorite mech. But if I remove that, just as a mental thought experiment. Oh, I can't fit it in because of the... Right, okay. Can't fit it in because of the boomsticks. I can fit in upper recoils. I just don't have a tonnage for it. I would need 3 patchwork materials. 2 patchwork materials and take off a little bit of armor. And that would be even better. because that would add an additional +1 accuracy to all my weapons, and that would be hilarious. Anybody could use this thing then. I would like another ton of ammunition at the very least. I mean, it's a little bit rough. But yeah, we have a fairly solid amount of firepower in this mech, even without that. Even without it, it's deadly. I think it'll continue to be deadly. My only sadness is that there's like a pistol that he holds if you give him a right arm weapon, and it would be awesome if it showed him having a cannon. And also, you know, the cannon obviously being over there as well. Pretty solid mech. It's our first assault. It's going to do pretty well. This will be our second assault. It's going to take a very long time to build that, but hopefully it'll be something really, really cool. It's going to take us some time to construct. You need a total rebuild because you're pretty bad, actually. But yeah, things are really picking up. We're doing pretty good, and my favorite little beauty is finally done. Look at that. Does that not scream danger? Zoom in on this. I want to see this. I know, I'm a little bit giddy about this, but this is so cool. Okay, the lighting is a little bit dark for it, partially because of the shadows that it casts on itself, but 4 medium lasers, an ML-15, which it's actually using a 15-box missile launcher, which is great. And of course, the heavy Gauss rifle in the right shoulder. Oh, and that thing hits, it's gonna hit like a truck. At least that's the hope. Oh, wrong button. So my only concern is it doesn't have any sort of arm holders. So the arm weapon mounts are pretty huge in terms of what they can do. So I do have some minor concerns about that, but I'm really kind of hoping that this thing works out really well. Like, I am so hoping this thing works out because I really wanted to. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. I have been Derek. If you like what you're seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see a notification every time we post one of these videos, press the little bell icon. Leave a comment and make sure you join us for our streams on Wednesdays and Thursdays. In fact, coming up in the following week, MechWarrior 5 is going to be releasing, and we're going to be having special streams every single day, playing with several members of the community as we get through the very beginning of our first MechWarrior 5 campaign. Make sure you join us and have a little bit of fun as we continue the campaigns of a brand new company. So we'll be starting a whole new thing, and I will see you all in the next episode.